1979, I think I first came. It's the first time I'd been to Edinburgh. Quite extraordinary, just fell in love straight away with it. Anyway, I came up with a young musician and a young writer and a young comic, and the young musician was Howard Goodall, the writer was Richard Curtis, and the comic was Rowan Atkinson. So I thought I'd started quite well. It was just a lovely opening, and I really fell in love with the place. About 5 years afterwards, I'd been looking around where something we could perform and help, and we came across the Pleasance. We had 150 seats upstairs and 100 or less even in the cabaret bar, as we called it. And we had a lovely time. There were 15 of us at the most, I think, doing everything from tickets to sweeping the courtyard. And we had no money when we started. We just did it on a prayer. And it's just extraordinary, and there are quite a few people involved, and that's pretty incredible.
Most of my memories are here at, like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. I'm having to kick us out. There are a couple of nice Brooks Bar memories. But, also the Pleasance used to do a newspaper, like a little newsletter. Pleasance time, seeing my face on the front of it after I won Newcomer. And I'm aware that's like a little, but I have a framed copy of that at home. It means more to me than the trophy.
I did 3 shows where I talked loads about my dad, and then I was like, I need to stop doing jokes about him because I think I've exhausted that avenue. And then my friend who was producing and directing the shows went, well, you're not going to do a show this year, but why don't you go out there for a couple of days and just get him up on stage with you? It'd be quite funny. It's like, okay. And I did a sketch show at the Pleasance cabaret bar, and my dad was literally just meant to sit there as like a prop, like Madge on the Dame Edna show, and just not say anything and just sort of be a funny, like, flesh prop. And we did it for 3 nights, and he kept chipping in, and kept derailing it and undermining me, and just slagging me off and ruining the whole show and getting far bigger laughs than I did. And then someone in the bloody audience was there, it's like, oh, that'd be quite good on TV. And then 10 years later, I'm still doing a show with him. So that is all because of the Pleasance. So I blame the Pleasance entirely for having created the world's worst Nepo dad.
One memory that I have of Pleasance Courtyard happened yesterday, actually. We got a table in the courtyard, which is quite a feat, and we sat at that table for, I think, 7 hours, and we didn't leave the table once. And a magician came to our table, and he asked our friend to pick a random card, or to think of a random card, and our friend said 2 of hearts, and the magician took a pack of cards out of his pocket, and there was 1 card in the pack, and it was 2 of hearts.
I have done these, and then again in the future, a series of 24-hour shows in my young days. The shows gradually increment over time until it's a kind of collective hysteria thing. Guests come and go, stuff happens. One year we sent someone to France and back. One year I think the first time I did it, I hadn't even given myself a day off from my regular show, so I had to walk the audience across from the Dome to the courtyard, make them watch that for an hour among my existing audience, and then I dragged the audience back. I've done quite a bit of walking people around.
It's always just such a great vibe around the place, just people wanting to chat, have fun, just, be great friends.
It's so great though, especially the courtyard, because you see everyone, and when you do a show, at around the same time I finish my show, I know exactly what comedians are going to be in the courtyard, who I know, who I, could say hello to. How was your show today? It was good. That was yours. And you get this almost like little community for a month.
Inside there, they used to sell a fish chowder. And in 2013, I think it rained every day for the first 14 days of the festival. And I had a fish chowder every single day. I was so sick. And I had no idea why. I was like, I don't know why my stomach is acting up so bad. I guess I better have another fish chowder.
But it really did make me feel like I was, one of the big boys, if you will, of comedy. Because I was at the Pleasance, and I just know the history. I just know the acts that have performed here. I remember the first time I did my debut, I was at the Pleasance, the Attic. And then I got told all the comics who have been doing the Attic, and I was like, oh, really? When you hear the history, you feel, you feel really amazing. You go, wow, my name is a part of this list of so many great acts as well.
I feel like the Pleasance Reserve gave me that consistent amount of perform every day for a month, and for a new comic, that's what you need to do. You just need to drill and drill and drill. And I feel like for a comic, you need to stop getting nervous to be really good. You can get a little bit nervous, you can get a bit of adrenaline, but when you're on stage, you've got to feel calm and peaceful. And I think doing that many gigs in a row in front of all these like diverse different audiences helped me just to really relax and settle into who I was as a comic. And obviously I've gone on a massive journey since to keep improving and stuff, but yeah, I feel like there's always just space to like grow and play and just become the best artist that you can become.
You know, everyone's been really nice and really friendly and really warming, and they let you just do what you want to do as a comedian. They're so supportive and they're like, listen, we believe in you, you do you, and that's great.
The courtyard is so social, and it's a great place to flyer, and there's so much comedy that I think lots of people can just like stay there all day and see loads of shows there. And I've done lots of previews at the Pleasance in London as well, so it's nice to like try it out there and then bring it to Edinburgh to do the real thing. And they just always have such amazing people, and like when I was coming up and watching comedians, I would see like Nick Mohammed and Tim Key and people that inspired me, and so it's just cool to do a show in the same venue as the people that you love.
For me, I just want to keep coming back to the Edinburgh Fringe and learning how to write the best hour that I can write, and yeah, just keep coming back and just having this whirlwind crazy month that is always just so fantastic, so unpredictable, the highs, the lows, but it's intoxicating and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in August.
Well, the future of any venue depends on its programming, and that's one of the things that's always been very exciting about the Pleasance. And if it can keep reaching to the most diverse acts, not just from this country but outside as well, then it will automatically and organically grow. I mean, it has to speak to what's going on in the world, and it has to reach every single corner. And this year you've had some amazing things.
I mean, I imagine comedy's just going to expand even more, and the Pleasance is just going to have to take over more and more venues and more space at the festival, and just become even bigger to accommodate all of the like amazing comedians and shows that are coming up here. And hopefully it can continue to support like the burgeoning comedy industry and the next generation of comedic talent, because it's just always been this incredible like touchstone for all of the best and most exciting talent that's coming through. So I think it'll continue to be that really important part of most comedians breaking through into the industry.
This vibe is the same vibe that I loved when I got here in 2012. This specific noise, I think, is something that is never going away. This noise, this background hubbub has always been the same, and there's something that's conducive to, all these people are here to be entertained and to be given something that provokes, that provokes some sort of conversation. And so I think audiences are gonna always be rolling through this place, expecting good quality, expecting good value for their money.
I would say the future of the Pleasance, I mean, there's not much they have to change for it. Maybe more paint, I'd say. Maybe more yellow. You know what? If there's one thing the Pleasance need, it's more yellow, to be fair. Yeah, there's not enough. There's not enough.